Anyssa Chats. Today, what if that's just the intro music nice. I go with? To be fair, I can program those buttons. That's so true. If I find an actual intro music, I can put it on this so we can like do it in real time. Are you ready, Freddie? Who's Freddie? Who's Freddie? I only have one guest on this podcast, and it's Tegan. Smacks you in the face. I felt like I was going to. Guest. Not anymore.
We just going into it. We technically already did an intro.
I don't know what I'm going to use. I haven't edited it yet. That's for future self to figure out. I was like, welcome to another episode of Anyssa Chats. It has been a little bit, so for forgive our little bit of rustiness here.
Yeah.
We've been extremely busy. Seasons have changed. Almost kind of we're getting there. Which means last time we went from being like we got a pool to now we've torn down the pool.
Sad.
Yeah.
Sad. I miss it.
It's extremely sad. We did not get to enjoy it long enough. But I do think we got good use out of it. Anyways, that's not what people are here for.
Just here for pool chat.
We'll talk about pools. But no, today I feel like I have a special treat because Tegan is going to tell us a story. Mm-hmm. Tell us a tale. I don't really know a whole lot about this, so you want to give just like a brief description real quick?
Basically, one time we watched an episode of Ghost Adventures, and I said that place looks pretty rad, and it sounded interesting. So I did a little research into Bobby Mackey's Music World, Very fun name. And turns out it had like a lot of like lore to it, apparently. I don't know what's all true or not, but I figured a spooky story is a spooky story, so just a warning ahead of time. I basically kind of just went with like the most common story that I heard, read, listened to many times. So I just kind of went with the most common iteration.
So there's lots of rumors around about this.
Basically.
Lots of ideas, theories.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theories maybe a little bit in there. So you're just going to tell us kind of what you thought was the hot points.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar with it, it's okay. We'll dive into it because I'm also not familiar with it. That's okay. Do we want to jump into it? Do you have anything else you want to... ready? You ready to
I'm ready to just punch it.
I'm ready to sit here and react. I'm so ready. I'm about to like get all cozy.
Okay.
With my little white chocolate butter cookie latte.
Let's get it. That was an ASMR. I heard that in my ears.
I have mine turned down quite a bit so I couldn't really hear. So
okay.
We're getting cross-legged me.
I am like doing a little prefacing with the building history first, so that way we kind of have a bit of context when I get into when they bought the building, because then you can kind of come to your own conclusions of what happened. So
I like it.
It was originally built in 1850 as a slaughterhouse and meatpacking plant, and it would later close in like 1890, so it was around for a little while. After it closed down, it attracted local occultists and rumored Satanists. Yeah, great site for rituals because all the blood from the animal, it had this little well, and it would just go. So they were like, blood, ritual.
Blood on tap, we're ready to go. We just like, all right.
So, yeah. In 1896, there would be a very tragic murder of a woman, Pearl Bryan. She was 22, which is crazy. She was a youngin'.
That was crazy.
Left home from Indiana to meet up with her lover that she had on the DL. She was pregnant, and a lot of stories either say that they met up where he was from, which was Cincinnati, and they were going to it was an agreed abortion. There's some stories that say that they were meeting up. She thought they were going to get married, have kids, and he was planning the abortion.
Ooh.
Yeah. So she basically just told her parents, hey, I'm going to meet a friend. Bye. But she left kind of like end of January. She was found February 1st in a large field without her head.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. She was, and it was just a few miles from that abandoned slaughterhouse. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see where the pieces can come together.
Yep. It wasn't just a... I'm telling you the gist of it. If we want to do a full story on it, there's like a full story.
Do some deep dives into some of the side
I'm telling
stories.
you like the big points.
That's how much information there is about this. Did you say where this was located?
Oh fuck, I forgot.
It's okay. I was like, I don't know if it's actually been said.
It was around what was now known as like Wilder, Kentucky. It was called a different town then because it was way back when. But right now, where it's located, Wilder, Kentucky.
Okay. Kentucky. Really only Kentucky. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
It's along like Route 9 in Wilder, Kentucky. That's where it is. I found it. I'm organized again.
Good luck staying.
I probably won't. Last time she'd been seen was January 31st with two men, Scott Jackson and Alonzo Walling, in a cab headed toward... Oh, it was called Fort Thomas back then.
Okay.
See, I was organized. But they were heading from Cincinnati because that's where he lived. Don't know why they were going to such a weird spot, but, that's where it was.
That's what they do then,
But when they were arrested after the murders were committed, he told police that they were in a secret relationship, and he found out she was pregnant, and he was trying to induce a miscarriage using cocaine. That didn't work, so they thought the only option was to murder Pearl, because that's the only...
Cocaine didn't work. Murder's your next best thing.
Mm-hmm. They thought if they decapitated her, it would, keep them from finding out who she was.
Right.
But her family was actually pretty wealthy, and so the shoes she had were, they had, a local shoemaker in town where she was found who was like, I know shoes.
That shoe? I made that shoe.
He found it by the serial number. There's, a whole article about it where he, Sherlock Shoemaker.
Whoa.
It was kind of funny. But basically he found out who she was because he was like, this is a serial number. This comes from this town. That's where she's from. This is Pearl. So they were able to identify her, and they were then they got caught.
Okay.
But yeah, Pearl's...
Burn the shoes.
Yeah. Burn the shoes.
Hashtag burn the shoes.
Yeah. Well, they weren't that
Don't worry about the face. Worry about the shoes.
Mm-hmm. They should have taken off all identifiers if they wanted to get away with it. But I'm glad they were stupid because they deserved it. Her head was never found, so she had to be buried without it.
Oh.
There were rumors that they were going to medical school to be dentists, that they had access to
equipment to do so.
Equipment to get rid of it.
Oh.
But there were also rumors that it was tossed into a certain well in a certain building, never to be seen again.
Maybe one that holds blood.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. Blood on tap.
It was saying it was a satanic murder. I think it was just a murder by a horrible person. You could call it satanic.
Blurry lines there.
Blurry line.
Horrible person murder, satanic
murder.
There
was a lot of people writing oh, it was a satanic ritual sacrifice. And I was like, I think they were just really shitty people.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
But both men were executed on March 20th, 1897.
Yes.
So they decided that that slaughterhouse probably shouldn't stay up because it attracted trouble. So in 1920, they tore it down. And it got replaced with a speakeasy and illegally running gambling place by the mob.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. No trouble to be found there.
Yeah.
Get rid of the slaughterhouse because,
Well, it wasn't run by the mob at first. It was run by a person named Buck Brady. He opened it as a roadhouse and casino, and it was called the Primrose. It was popping, and the mob was like, "That's successful. That's money. Give me it." So they pressured him to sell it to the mob, and they're like, "This is ours." And then they rebranded it to a Latin music nightclub and called the Latin Quarter.
Interesting.
So then,
I want to go to the Latin Quarter.
It was the most popular gambling den in the area. It was a really small town, so probably, very small.
Right. Right.
Until, throughout, the 40s and 50s. It was open for, 11 years, I think, which is pretty long because the law enforcement shut it down because it was this is illegal. We're going to shut you down. It sat empty until in early 1970s, and it reopened as a hard rock cafe. But
Sick.
It was not open for very long because there were several deaths, multiple shootings. The police had to be called multiple times to it because there were just so many fights out in the parking lot and everything.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy. Okay, now we're getting to the Bobby Mackey part. Enter Bobby. That's honestly Bobby. That is Bobby.
All right, Bobby. What's Bobby got to say? All right, sorry. I'll stop. I think I'm making this worse. I'm just like inputting like my own little like. Okay,
it's fine. I don't care.
I'll chill.
It's fine. Okay. He was ready to settle down. He was traveling the country with his band or working for the railroad for like the past 12 years. So he was ready to just find a small town because he himself was from a very, 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 very small town in Concord, Kentucky. And he really, really just wanted to like either go to like Tennessee or get his own nightclub.
You're doing like Tennessee. There we go.
There you go. I put that in there.
It's one of my favorite like joke pickup line things. So I don't know why I'm single.
The location of the property that they were looking at was only an hour and a half away from where his hometown was. It was an old roadhouse on Route 9 in Wilder, Kentucky. And it was already set up for that nightclub.
It already set up for that nightclub. I feel like that part in Superman when the dad's talking very Midwest.
Where nobody knows what he's
Everyone's
saying.
like, what? And we're like sitting there in Kansas like, yeah, I got you. I know exactly what you're saying. Anyways, sorry. Weird callback.
Okay, and it was already set up for like that nightclub life because it was a rock and roll place before. So it was like, here you go, on a silver platter. And Bobby, he loved that location. He was like, this is nice. I really like this. We should take a look-see. But when they went to go look at it, his wife, Janet, didn't fucking like the place. Hated it. She literally is...
Women, am I sorry?
You're good. Well, basically, that is Bobby. Literally, as soon as, like, they pulled up to the place and they were looking at it, Janet heard, like, a couple, like... She thought she heard a couple, like, in, like, the kitchen area arguing. And when she, like, looked to go see it, there was nobody there.
Oh, that's crazy.
And, like, by the time they were finished looking at it, like, she was, like, ready to go. She was like, Bobby, I want to leave. I want to leave. Can we leave? And he was like, I want to leave. But when they were, like, talking back in the car, she was like, I don't like this place. It's, like, I think it's, like, it's weird. It's spooky. And he's like...
Intuition being like, hey, this is not right. And he's, like, man about it and being like, no, it's fine.
No, he was happy. He was like, I was up on that stage and I saw my nightclub. We're doing it. And she was like...
Don't let spooky, married, coupled ghosts fighting stop you from living your dreams. And that's the moral of the story. That's it.
Basically, this whole story is his wife just being like, hey, this happened. And he's like, I don't believe in that stuff. And she's like, okay.
It's funny.
But nothing stopped him from achieving his goal. He wanted that fucking nightclub, and he was going to get it. So they bought it.
Perfect. Yeah.
Even though Janet wasn't exactly happy with it, she knew nothing was going to stop him. So she was helping him get his nightclub going for its grand opening. They were cleaning up, sweeping around, and then a person just showed up in their doorway. It was like a young man in his, I think, early 20s. It didn't really say his exact age. I couldn't find. Maybe it didn't look hard enough. Showed up. And he was like, hey, I worked here before, you know, when it was a Hard Rock Cafe. Crazy. It was crazy, man. I saw a murder. And she was like, okay.
He's like, I was right. It's bad. Not good.
And he's like, well, I haven't had a job since then. And I was kind of like their handyman. So do you guys need help? And after, like, talking for a little bit, Bobby was like, you know, yeah, sure. Come work for us. Which, honestly, like, he had already worked there before, so he, like, knew the building, because it wasn't without its problems, because it was an old building. Yeah. So they kind of worked out a deal where he'd be kind of like their handyman. He kind of turned into a caretaker later on of, like, the property. And so they made him, like, a little, like, apartment in, like, the attic where he could live. So, yeah.
Okay.
Handyman acquired.
They got a job applicant came right to the front door.
Before they even opened.
Hey.
Look at that.
That is so, like, stereotypical horror movie, like, thing gonna go down. Like, this strange
But that's also just, like,
person...
70s.
You know, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That is just kind of how it worked. They didn't have Indeed. I understand.
Just be like, local handyman.
Yeah. It's just, but it is, like, you know, just framing the story pretty well.
To be fair, it kind of framed him. People, you can kind of take or give on what he says, because, like, he very much believed the building had, like, a special energy, which quickly got Janet warmed up to him, because, like, they would, like, work on projects together, and then they would talk about, like, she would be like, hey, have you had any experiences here? He'd be like, oh, yeah, he loved to tell ghost stories.
That would be me.
But one day, while Janet was, like, cleaning, she began to hear voices in the kitchen again. So, understandably and cautiously, she went towards the kitchen. There was nobody there. And then she heard, like, a gurgling noise come from, like, the sink. So she went over to the sink and kind of, like, leaned over it, and she saw a thick red liquid, like, just bubbling up from it. It's like one of those industrial sinks, you know, like, if you've worked, like, fast food, it's like, it's got, like, a little, like, division in it, and it's like
the big basins, like, like, probably, like, some sort of stainless steel or something like that.
And she said, like, the red liquid was, like, nearly filled it. Like, it was, like, very full. And so she was like, oh, fuck no. So she tried to back away from it, but she felt a force push her forward. No. And it was trying to, like, push her head underneath it, like, into the water. So it sounds like a movie. It literally sounds like a movie.
I can picture a whole movie in my head. Okay.
I'm surprised it didn't try it, because honestly, that could be a good movie. But
don't say that. We gotta do that. Coming next.
Yeah, sure. That's gonna be the film that we make.
Hey, short film coming soon. Not spooky month's coming up. It's time to shine, man.
But she was, like, literally, like, screaming, and before her head could go in, Carl. Did I say his name? Damn it! I didn't say his name, did I?
I don't know. I'm terrible at names. I probably would have just ignored it.
Well, his name is Carl.
Carl's the maintenance man.
Yeah, Carl the maintenance man. Carl. He rushed in and just pulled her away, and as soon as he came in, it just all dead stopped. And then Janet was like, holy fuck, I just died. I almost just died. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
I could genuinely not imagine experiencing something like that.
And when he looked over to the sink, it was clean. It was empty.
Sorry, there's an airplane driving down the street. Mind you, we don't live in a place where that's a thing. I mean, first off, airplanes don't typically drive down the street, but also...
She was afraid that Carl wouldn't believe her.
Yeah. It does sound crazy.
He did believe her because he knew because he had worked there before and the only reason he stopped working there was because the last place closed because there was a lot of death. So he was like, yeah, I think, because he thought, like, something in there made people violent. And Bobby was like...
he's onto it.
Bobby was like, I don't believe that. I think it's just because... he's very much old-timer, because it's like, it's because they're playing that rock and roll over there. I'm going to have country music. Completely different vibe.
Right, because country music has never made anybody angry.
But they did try and tell Bobby about what happened. Didn't believe either of them. Rude.
I wonder, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I wonder how much he like, didn't believe it, or if he just was like, no, it can't be, because this is my place. You know?
Yeah. But Bobby would later have, like, a conversation with Carl, and, like, after, like, Janet had went home because she was freaked out. And just, he would be like, knock it off with all the ghost stuff, because he thought he was, like, getting into Janet's head, and, like, she was thinking of all of it because...
That's fair, yeah.
You know? And he was like, I put a lot of money into this. And he didn't want it affecting his business because he was scared it would, like, scare people away. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know back then how it would do. But, you know, nowadays, today, that makes
a haunted,
it
like,
poppin'.
Club, whatever. Like, yeah, sign me up, man. Let's go.
But during this time, there would be, like, a couple... it's kind of funny that he didn't want it to be known as a ghost place. And he was, like, trying to keep it hush-hush. But the locals kind of already knew anyway. Because, like, there would be incidents before they even opened. Well, like, a patrol officer, Larry Horsby. Sorry.
Horsby, you know?
While he was on patrol, he saw movements in the window in the club. So he thought somebody was breaking in. And because, like, it was closed. Nobody in there. So when he got back up and they investigated, the front door was unlocked. And they went into the club. It was dark. It was closed. It looked like nobody was there. But they started hearing music.
Oh.
And then they started to hear a voice of a man and a woman coming from the kitchen.
That's crazy.
And then when they went to those areas to go check it out, nothing. And like at the tail end of them investigating, the front door just slammed shut.
Okay.
They were quoted as saying, "We was stunned."
We was stunned. The Kentucky for you. They're right there. That's Kentucky.
But they didn't report anything because, like, if they reported that back to, the bosses,
you'd sound crazy, and
they
probably
would literally be called crazy and unfit to work.
Exactly,
so they just were like, nothing was there, and they went back.
Yeah, because either A, they're crazy, and they're crazy, and they hear these voices, or B, they let these people go.
Mm-hmm. Yep. A few nights later, the same officer would return again. But this time it was because there
was got scared by my phone going off. Sorry.
You're good.
I was like, oh, something touched me. No, it's just my
It's not even to the spooky part yet.
Oh, no. Are you getting so spooky?
But he would return again because there was a car accident on the road beside Bobby Mackey's. Unfortunately, it was a fatal car accident, so they were just pulling the victims out of the cars. He was searching for something suitable to, like, cover the bodies while they were waiting on ambulances to come. And a woman appeared behind them without saying a word, handed them, like, some tablecloths from the bar. Mm-hmm. And just, so they went and covered up the victims, and they watched her walk back into the building and close the door.
What?
So after the ambulances had, like, picked up the bodies and everything, they went to go thank the woman.
Right.
The door was locked, so they knocked. Nobody was there. So then the officer visited Bobby the next day and was like, hey, like, I just wanted to thank this woman, one of your employees helped me out. She, gave me tablecloths to cover, whatever. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have a woman like that here. We were closed last night. I locked the doors last night. Like, we're not even officially open yet, so we don't have an employee like that.
Whoa.
So, and he was like, me and my wife are both in bed.
God, that'd be insane. Sorry.
Unless they thought Carl was a woman, but I don't think that could be true. Unless he dressed in drag. It was the 70s.
Carl, what you up to?
But
I mean, Carl, I feel like, he might get up to that.
But no women around. Okay, so again, before they officially opened, Janet was minding her own business on the second floor, cleaning up, sweeping up the top landing to the stairs. Mm-hmm. And she suddenly just got the feeling that she was not alone, and it felt dark. So she went to go downstairs, and she felt a hand grab her when she was at the top landing. Like, kind of like how when you're about to go downstairs from our house, she was right by the stairs. So she kind of just got startled, and then it let go for a second, and then she kind of lost her balance. But as she was regaining her balance, she felt a shove.
No.
She fell down the whole flight of stairs all the way down to the bottom.
Oh my God.
And when she looked up, she thought she saw, like, a figure of a man, and then it appeared.
That's like one of my fears. Like even here, we go down the stairs, I go to the edge of the stairs, and I'll be like, oh, I'm fine, and then I'll be there, and it's like I turn off all the lights up here, so then I'm like facing the staircase, and it's like just black behind me, and I'm like, something's just gonna come up and go boop.
Yeah. Now, mind you, that's already dangerous, falling down the flight of stairs. She was 5.5 months pregnant. So they immediately had to go to the ER,
Yeah.
and their daughter was born early.
Oh my god.
She did survive.
How early did you say? Did you say 5 months?
5.5 months.
That's early.
She's supposed to be in there for at least like 3 more months.
That's insane. Okay.
Yeah.
And
so
she survived?
Yeah, she survived.
That's impressive.
She survived. I know. When I read that, I was like, oh, God.
Especially in that time, and like...
I thought I was going to read that, like, it didn't hurt. She survived.
Okay.
She survived. She was born at 1 pound and 15 ounces.
1 pound, Jesus.
Yeah, it was really crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, they had to stay in the hospital for a while, but they were eventually able to go home. And Janet was done with the club after that. She did not want to set foot back in there.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
So, after that, the club was finally able to open.
Yeah.
He still didn't believe her. He thought it was just an accident. He literally was like, it was just an accident. She claimed she was pushed, and he still didn't believe her. If that happened to me and Cody didn't believe me, fucking beat his ass.
I'd push him down. Like, are you kidding me? Like, he'd be going down the stairs and be like, oh, it's just an accident.
Be like, you think I'd fall down the stairs? Me? No.
Graceful little old me. me like falling onto the couch every time I get onto my spot.
But he would still just be like, no, it's not haunted. It's not haunted. And he would be like, he didn't want it to be known to be haunted. He did not want it to be known to be haunted. He was just like, nope, it's just a club. We play country music here. That's it.
Dude, like, this for real feels like an episode of Supernatural where they'd be like, oh, he made a deal with the devil and sold his soul for this club. And then it's like, I don't know, bad things happening.
I mean, but once it opened, he couldn't stop people from experiencing things on their own. When a carpenter was doing repairs, he witnessed an entire, like, he was in the room by himself, nobody in the building. Probably Carl upstairs. I don't know. Carl was just around. And he witnessed an entire row of chairs just go all down the stairs.
Down the stairs.
Down the stairs, yep. That's what I meant to say. All the chairs, I meant. I was thinking about stairs.
You're thinking about the stairs.
Mm-hmm. That's scary, dude. And then Carl, who did work there, he was upstairs and he just heard a bunch of crashing and everything. And he came out and, like, all the chairs and shit were just shaking and vibrating and, like, switched around where they weren't supposed to be. And he was like, nope, I am going back in my room. There was a funny thing I kind of found. A bar regular. It says a bar regular fond of Western style clothing. That's what it said.
Bar regular fond of Western style clothing.
Reported an attack in the men's bathroom at Bobby Mackey's. While washing his hands, he looked into the mirror, and there it was, a man-shaped hole in the air. That's what he said, complete with a cowboy hat. It came at him punching, kicking, clawing, and beating him until he fainted. Upon recovering, he ran straight to Bobby and told them he had to get control of his club's evil spirits.
Could you imagine this Western bro being like, hey, there's coming stumbling out of the bathroom, right? It was a bathroom?
Yeah.
Coming stumbling out of the bathroom, like bruises, maybe claw marks on him. He's like, now, brother, you ought to take care of this demon problem you got on your property because it's out of hand. I'd be like, man, what food did he eat before coming here? He just blew up my bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, like, this dude's not okay.
Yeah, well, Bobby had a similar reaction. He just laughed, assuming it was a joke.
Your brother better take care of your demons.
But he sued Bobby for negligence. He literally went to court and sued him.
Oh my gosh.
For negligence in allowing ghosts to operate without any warnings to patrons.
Hey brother, you didn't warn me about the demons you got in the toilets. Wild. I wish I'd worn a cowboy hat for this episode.
The
tiny one we have for eye.
Yeah. The judge threw the case out, recommending that the guy take the matter up with a higher power.
Yeah.
Following the advice of his lawyer, Bobby put up a warning sign on the front entrance.
Burning demons in the bathroom.
But the ghost remains in the bathroom.
Fight your demons in Bobby Mackey's bathroom. Oh, that's awesome. That's top tier. Fighting demons in the bathroom. A whole new meaning to that. Oh gosh, I would love to talk to that person.
Anyway, back to Carl.
Carl's
POV.
Carl.
Because, he lived there, which is crazy.
Yeah. Oh gosh, no.
He got literally so perturbed in there just by himself. Mm-hmm. It's basically just like living in phasmophobia.
Yeah, no thanks.
He very much got drawn to like the basement a lot, which was, where the shit happened.
That's where the blood was on tap, yeah?
Basically, yeah. It was also where one day he was cleaning and under a loose floorboard he found a diary.
Ooh, that's my dream in life.
Mm-hmm. I know, right?
Like, I want to find some sort of mysterious thing. Like
instant tea.
Yeah, like, tell me the lore.
I know. People dispute whether or not this is true. Because, it is just like one dude. So.
Right, there's not like another person with them to.
But if it's not true, that sucks. But if it is, it's pretty cool.
Well, let's say it's true for right now. Let's believe it for a bit.
For spookiness.
Yeah.
The
Life's better when you believe.
Would belong to a Johanna. Okay, I said it like that because the Bobby Mackey ended up writing a song about this woman.
Really?
Yes, it's pretty good. I listened to it. I found it while I was googling up her story. And,
what a like wild thing to go do.
I listened to it while I was researching. It's pretty good.
That's awesome.
A dancer at a nightclub called the Latin Quarter. She was in love with a musician that worked there, and her father did not approve.
Oh no!
So he said, "Don't date him." Mm-hmm. Did she listen? No. So she got pregnant.
Okay, buckling in.
So he threatened to kill him if the relationship continued, and it already did continue. When they ignored the warning and he learned that she was pregnant, her lover disappeared.
Yeah, just disappeared. No idea what happened to him. Must have been demons in the bathroom.
She was convinced her dad had done something.
Yeah.
So she poisoned her father and then herself.
Okay.
Bad bitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There were multiple like kind of accounts about the pregnant thing. Like she was pregnant. Some said she was 5 months pregnant.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
There were just some that just said she was pregnant. So I couldn't find anything concrete, but I know there was some sources that said that she was 5 months pregnant, which kind of eerie because
the other person was she was 5 months.
Yeah, his wife was 5.5 months pregnant. But in her final like diary entry, it was kind of like basically her, end of life note.
I kind of forgot you were saying this was all from the diary. Okay.
Yeah, this is all from the diary. She would write that she would roam.
Am I crazy? I don't know what just happened or what sound was just made, but I swear it sounded like a very like stereotypical door squeak open, like a. It sounded like a sound effect. I don't know what sound happened. It was probably just something we did.
It might have been, or like a car passing by.
Something like I don't know. It just sounded like a very stereotypical like.
Oh, well.
But like in the distance. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
You're good.
Bringing it out for no reason. A door.
I'm getting you creeped out. But in her final diary entry, she wrote that she would roam the club forever waiting for her lover to return.
Maybe she's hanging out in the men's room. That's wild. That's just like, what a Romeo and Juliet situation kind of vibe there.
That's why I think some people think it's fake, because it feels very movie.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there.
Hey, but it's, you know?
It is or it isn't.
Some people do crazy things under stress, so.
Yeah. Since Carl, lived there, he was not getting a break.
Probably not.
One night he woke up and he couldn't breathe.
Well,
he woke up and he could not catch his breath, so he had to sit there and actively just breathe. As soon as he could breathe, though, all the power in the building went out. So you know what you do in Phasmophobia when all the power's out?
Get the hell out of there.
Well, you go find the breaker.
Oh. I'm a weenie.
No, I would also do the same thing.
No, the thing is, I would run outside and they'd be like, and then I'd go get the breaker,
Yeah. Do you want to guess where the breaker was?
In the basement?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course it is. It's always in the basement.
So he had to grab a flashlight and wander down to the basement. When he did go to the basement, guess what? There was another loose floorboard. This place has a lot of loose floorboards.
They need to take care of their floorboards.
Yeah, I know. This one revealed a hatch covering a deep, deep hole. That might have used to been a well. Used for the slaughterhouse. Just maybe.
Just perhaps.
Perhaps.
Just a hole.
He looked into it and he got real creeped out. Did not have good feelings from that. So he shut it because he thought, I think I just released evil from here. And he said, well, gotta turn the power back on because I ain't sleeping with the lights out tonight.
Yeah. Oh my God. Can you imagine living in a place like that alone, of all things?
I'd have to have somebody to trauma bond with.
Yeah.
You'd probably go insane by yourself.
Absolutely.
So he did go turn the breaker on, and when he turned around, he saw two male figures just looming dangerously. It did not feel good, so he did what all of us would do. He ran so far up those fucking stairs, went to his room, and hid under the covers. I don't know if he hid under the covers, but that's what I would do.
I'd imagine so. Yeah, at
but
least,
he got the fuck out of there. He was very overwhelmed by, it just felt evil. He was like, shit. There were some accounts saying that he went back down there the next morning and poured holy water down the well to try and stop it from coming out. But I think he already
it was already open.
It was already open
and it was sitting for a while. But you gotta appreciate the effort.
Yeah. After that night, his behavior changed.
Oh, of course.
But basically he wasn't acting like himself anymore.
Oh, no.
To the point.
Whoa. Careful with your P words around here. We do not talk about porn on this channel.
To the point that Bobby didn't know who he was dealing with anymore. He didn't know which Carl he was gonna get. He was acting erratic and just unpredictable, and he wasn't the same Carl that was I like ghost stories. This is chill. He was just he was basically kind of being an asshole.
Yeah. Whoa.
Janet, his wife, was trying to convince him that something spiritually was wrong with him, and he still didn't believe any of that, but he was just I don't know what to do, and he's kind of freaking me out. So he wanted to try and alleviate the stress that everybody was under, because Carl was still there, but he was just freaked out basically, and he was just acting different, and it wasn't bueno. So he reached out to his friend Doug Hensley, who did he was he wrote books, and so when he told him everything that had happened, he was oh, I'll do some research about the building and stuff, He found the many tragedies and deaths that happened, and he also found out the murder of Pearl Bryant, which I had told you about. And he dug deeper and found out the two killers vowed that one of them vowed he would come back and haunt everyone involved that with their trial and where her head was left.
Oh.
So maybe rumors about her head were not so much rumors, you know?
Yeah. There's evidence. We have the receipts. So the head, they're like, hey, here's the location of a head. Is that what's happening?
Basically, he said he was going to haunt everyone that was involved because he was mad they got caught.
Right.
And that he was going to haunt wherever he put Pearl's head. So Doug was like, I think he's haunting the place and he's fucking with Carl. So he reached out to a psychic, Patricia Mitchell or Michelle. I think it's Michelle. I hope I'm not butchering that. And when she went into the club in the main part, like where everybody would usually be and not in like the basement, you know,
the club
room, she just you know, like it was like harmless spirits. She sensed like a woman. She said her name was Johanna, and a few sorry, you'll get it when you listen to the song.
Yeah, I'll make you listen to it. It's gonna
it.
happen. I'm sorry if you didn't. Yeah,
we'll listen to it on the way home.
Hell yeah.
But when she went to the basement, it felt aggressive and dark. Like she didn't like it. She said she saw, like, it was kind of an interesting interview type thing. She said she saw it how it used to be, how it used to look in the 1800s, like when it was operating as the butcher plant or whatever. And when Carl was like, here's the well, and he opened it. And she looked into it, and she said she saw a vision of Pearl's head floating in the well.
Okay. Yeah.
She felt like she was like spinning and she was like nauseous and she literally just needed to get out of there. She relayed that information and she said that the Scott and what was his name? Alonzi? I don't fucking know.
I only know Carl.
Dem bitches. That's what they are. They were in the basement and they were trying to use Carl and like use his body. So no bueno. She was like, you guys need a priest or a minister for Carl because he's struggle bussing. And he's probably going to be possessed. And he needs help now.
Yeah.
Bobby didn't fucking believe any of it.
Of course he didn't. He's absolutely worthless.
He didn't believe any of it.
He's actually only just there. Like, he's just the name.
But he knew a guy. He did a commercial on the radio with him who, like, he was like a reporter, and he knew a guy who knew a reverend.
He knew a guy who talked to that cowboy who got his ass kicked in the bathroom, who he knew a guy.
He was a local Pentecostal minister, and they were gonna, like, get this exorcism started. So basically, the reverend showed up, and he was with the other... It's gonna start to get a little confusing because it got a little confusing for me. He showed up with the guy he did the commercial with,
right? Okay,
with cameras because you know it's an exorcism. It's kind of exciting.
Oh like, yeah, we gotta get that on film. Yeah.
Carl was just like, "Am I gonna die?" And they're like, "No, it's fine.
We're here to exorcise you." Yeah, okay.
He was kind of hesitant at first about the exorcism. Because he was honestly afraid that he was going to get hurt or people were going to get hurt. Because if he said yes to, like, booting them out, that they were going to be getting, like, the spirits were going to be mad about it.
They're going to be angry. Where do they go next, right?
And he also just didn't want to get, like... Because they were just like, it's okay to possess the building a little bit, but not, like, the person, you know? He needs to be him. He was very worried about it, but the minister was just like, it's okay, dude. It's okay. I've seen a lot. Almost everything. I think I could do this.
No, we're fine. You getting this on camera? We're good. We're good. Getting this on camera?
It took 6 hours.
Dang.
Yeah, they were doing it for 6 hours. And the Reverend was just, like, reading from the Bible and commanding the spirits to leave. He did that for, like, 6 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Carl, he was crazy. He go crazy. He was just wailing. He was claiming to be Alonzo. That was his name. I just remembered it. He was also claiming to be like someone named Charlie. He was speaking Latin. He was getting like, he was just thrashing everywhere. He was claiming he was Satan at one point. It was videotaped. There's like, it's kind of creepy. I don't like it.
That's crazy. Okay.
But,
that's wild that it's like actually
yeah,
filmed.
it's filmed. But when it was finally over, he had no memory of what had happened. And when he came to, he literally had it. I don't know. I didn't watch the full videotape. Some people say that his hands, like when he came to, his hands were like around the minister's throat.
Oh.
I didn't watch the full exorcism.
I know what we're watching tonight.
Jesus Christ. But it was videotaped.
Hey.
And after that, it just kind of went to its normal club. It was still haunted. There's still many accounts.
But there wasn't demons in the bathroom?
It wasn't like... It was still a little dark, but like Carl, you know...
Right. Carl was good.
He got the fuck out of there anyway. I think he only came back when like Ghost Adventures did their little like...
Oh, really? He did?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think he kind of became a little bit of an alcoholic. Just a little bit.
Well, you know, after that experience, it can happen to you.
Yeah. But the building now has since been demolished as of like January 2024.
Wow.
So it's been demolished for a little over a year.
That's so sad.
Yeah. But they do plan to build a new one in like 2026 on the same property.
Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
It was a little perfect timing.
Anyway, I know that was kind of like a fast ending, but
it's kind of, yeah.
That was it.
So, wow. That is insane.
That was like all the stuff I found. I don't know how much of that was accurate and or true, but that's what the most common denominator of stuff I found.
Yeah.
There were like other accounts where like it took multiple times for them to exercise. Like it was like weeks
like
and
series
weeks,
of...
but it didn't sound very reliable because it was like stuff about him having like... It caused him to have hemorrhoids, and I was like, I don't think that's a demon, sir, but you know...
I haven't experienced a demon, but seems a little unique.
So, yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we watched that episode, but I don't really...
But, yeah, obviously it appeared on, like, ghost hunting shows, you know, Ghost Adventures, probably other ones. Sam and Colby went there.
Shout out Sam and Colby, our friends. They're from Kansas, too. These are friends. Anyways. Wow, yeah, that's interesting. No, I didn't...
It's basically, that was just like a prequel, kind of like Star Wars. It has like that prequel, so then you're like, when the drama happens now, you're like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, that made sense in my mind. Maybe
I kind of get what you're saying. Yeah, because it kind of all adds up together of being like, I mean, like you said, I know you were talking about it before, with how you were going to tell the story, you know, where you wanted to start, and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to deep dive into some of the stuff that happened kind of before. And I think it makes sense because, you know, you go through and you have how many like pregnancy stories were there, like that's kind of wild. Now are those told because they are just
a lot of people claim that it was like the men that pushed her because she was pregnant and he didn't want pregnancy around.
Yeah,
he said fuck them kids.
But then it's like you have that one story versus the one who got, you know, the first girl who got what was her name? Poppy or something?
Oh, Pearl. Yeah, Pearl, she got murdered.
Yeah, she, you know, there's her and then fell down the stairs and then
then Johanna.
Yeah. It's funny. It's hilarious.
It's a good song. It tells the story of her life and it's kind of cool.
Huh. I'm very interested now.
I'm surprised. He was like, I don't do ghosts, and then he wrote a song about it.
Like, this ain't real, but Johanna.
To be fair, I think he probably now does believe that stuff, but because that was all back in like the 90s. Like it ended in like probably like the 90s, I want to say, and now 2000s. He's like, okay, ghosts.
Lean into it because now ghosts are cool.
Well, because now ghosts, you know, they're popping. Because he didn't want people to be like, there's ghosts there, ew. But it makes places popping. You don't get that cash.
It's very true. Yes. Again, I would go somewhere just because it's haunted. Definitely. Well, that was a good story.
I tried.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Hopefully
it.
I didn't fail.
Anyways, that was super interesting. This was very much a Tegan episode. Tegan tale.
I didn't mean to take over. It just happened.
No, I'm okay with it. To be fair, we have plans to go do a super special episode. And I'll spoil it just for the fun, because if anybody makes it this far, then you should deserve to be spoiled. We have plans to do an episode in the wild, quite literally. Outside at night, dark-ish, hopefully, is the plan. I have no idea how it's going to go, but where we are, I'll just say where we are, where we live, there's a bridge, and there happened to be a murder there, and we're going to go tell that story and sit out at the supposedly haunted bridge. And that's in theory. Hopefully we don't. I'm worried about us doing it because I'm worried that it's a pretty popular spot.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about, especially this time of year. I'm a little worried about like other people coming, but also I'm kind of like, let's just see what happens.
We'll try.
We've done a couple little tiny investigations there before, so I think we've actually talked about them in one of our episodes. We showed some clips. But yeah, otherwise, some other spooky stuff. If there's any topics you think that we should cover, or if there's anything you want us to dive deeper in regarding the story today, we could totally do that. Or any points you know about that we didn't cover, let us know them.
I tried my best to try and get a mix.
There's a lot of information and such
a mix of everything.
I just went with it. There's a lot of information, and it's hard with something that popular to find out what's true and what people are just leaning into the wrong way and things like that. That's why I sometimes, like, covering the more popular stories is sometimes fun because it's a lot easier to find this information, you know. But covering the stories that are a little more niche can be fun too, because most of the time the information's a little bit more accurate, but it's also more vague sometimes. It just depends. So
you kind of got to make assumptions. That's kind of what I did for most of the stuff, because it's like, this happened, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure.
You got to take what you believe and go from there. So again, some of it might be inaccurate, some of it might be. Oh, I think that's it. I think that's all we have to say. Let us know what else you want us to cover. Be on the lookout for more spookiness, and hopefully more episodes coming soon in a more consistent manner, but I don't really want to promise that, because that's when things go downhill. They'll come out when they come out. Don't pressure them. Well, don't go fighting demons in the bathroom and then blaming the owner. That's so funny. Just imagine, you're just like chilling, dude. I picture him like wiping off the tables, you know, and this dude comes out and he's just like, there are demons in there.
I just fought demons in the bathroom.
I just fought demons in your bathroom. And he's like, all right, man. You know, like, do you need me to, like, do I need to go clean the bathroom? Like, what's up? Is it that bad? He's like, demons.
Just being like customer service and like, oh, this guy just shit on the wall.
That's exactly what I would think. And I'm sure that's exactly. That's wild. There are demons in your bathroom.